Well, good afternoon. So I think we've saved the best for the last, and we had a very interesting pre-panel discussion, and I think you'll find some amazing ideas coming through, and so stay engaged with us. What we'll do in this panel, I think you've heard the discussion or heard the points that we'll discuss. I just want to add a couple of things to that. One is, of course, most of us, I specifically, and I know my neighbor here, are investors in the AI and digital space. And very often, you find it almost difficult because everybody in their startup proposals will have some AI built into them. So you don't know what's the real AI, what are people talking about, and I think you'll get some interesting ideas on how do you sift through all that data and come up with some real intelligence, which is really what we're looking for. The second point we wanted to bring out, and I think one of our panelists has some good ideas on that, is how do investors in AI themselves use AI? So apart from looking at big challenges for AI in real-world applications, we look at all this. So what I'd suggested to the panel is that each of them will make maybe comments for about 5 to 7 minutes, and choosing any one of these points or anything else they would like to say about investing in AI. And then we will have an interaction and throw it open to any of you who would like to interact and ask questions. So maybe, Sachin, can we start with you?
Yeah. So hi, everyone. It's a privilege to meet everyone here. So I'm partner with Roth AI, and what we do is we invest in pre-seed AI companies, and pre-seed meaning more risk, because nothing is proven. It's early stage AI companies. So how we go about it is we do take a lot of applications, as in on all the presentations and decks into account. And maybe to start off, I would suggest that we read the whole problem statement and the solution without the AI buzzwords in it and figure out if that actually has a business model which can work out to be helping other people who are going to use this or maybe be their customers. So that is the one of the main model that I follow, and then figuring out if the team, even though most of the AI companies would have founders who are very early into the business, so energy and the team compassion is not an issue, but the understanding of the problem and figuring out if they are good enough to build the product. So that is where we invest. So we have invested in close to 60 companies now, pre-seed, and few of them are doing fantastically well, and we look forward to investing a few more in the coming years, as in close to 200. We have been investing in India, Japan, Hong Kong, and globally as an interest. So the use cases does matter, but because it's early stage, we also give a leverage to the fact that the understanding of the use case could be not that specific, but there is still the need to learn more. If they have it, then we invest in them. And in the end, AI or not, you need humans to build companies. Yeah.
Sachin, can you tell us the most interesting use case you've seen so far?
The most interesting use case would be, as in something that I saw recently. There are two actually, as in something that comes with the future of the world, as in on the clean energy. There's a company that has a way of mapping the shadows 24/7 onto a building so that you can plan where to keep the solar panels and get the most energy out of it. So that is one company that is building something long-term, that is future, who needs a backing. And the other one I would say is we have so many languages, so many dialects. So there's a company that actually does have a technology which can clone your voice, as in creepy as it sounds, but clone your voice for good use cases. And then you can change the script in Arabic, English, Hindi, any language that you want to, and it can speak with the expressions and emotions of the actual speaker. So this will reduce a lot of time in maybe movie making, or maybe a cartoon dubbed in another language, or maybe any other use case, for example, an online education platform. Like that, there are 58 more. It's not a bias for two, but I just brought up these two as an interest.
Fabulous. I think those are great ones. Arif, your thoughts?
Yeah, hi. Hi, everyone. Arif Sayed, ASA Ventures. We invest in companies, not in AI specifically, and I would like to probably make a stance that's probably a very opposite of what, just so that this panel discussion looks more like a discussion. We don't really care if AI is a buzzword of the pitch deck that we're investing in. but one thing is for sure, we use AI in order to select and determine and validate the companies we invest in. And that's I think where the relationship comes. We are basically a venture capital firm that has around 150 people in Dubai itself. So we have quite a nice full-fledged operations spanning 9 countries today, and we receive a lot of startups. So we receive a lot of investment opportunities, and when AI, so our approach to AI is not if a company uses AI, because see, if I take my smartphone from my pocket today and I take a picture, I'm probably using some sort of AI algorithm as well, right? So we don't follow the buzzword. There has been no spike in our investment procedures since AI became the thing. We always look at the business side of things, of course, and I think, of course, everyone is talking about AI, so I'll probably like to give the other side of the coin, that when it comes to investment, it has to, again, be very logical, very system, solving a real problem, be it through AI or not, but in today's world, probably not without AI. But again, but yes, we do use a lot of machine learning, AI, all those in our own tool. We've built a mechanism that is being fed with data for the last 15 years now, and what we've done is basically we've broken down any possible company into Lego pieces that are identifiable. And we set KPIs on that. So basically today, when a new startup comes on board, for us, it's very easy to understand whether they are going to be able to deliver what they're promising based on everything that we've been doing so far. So we replace in the decision making, when we are investing in a company, we replace guts with data. Right? So it's not what we think is going to happen, is what is proven. So that gives us a very good, on a practical level, it gives a very good indication of, is this cost per acquisition real? Is this lifetime value, something that is actually going to happen? So we base our investment decisions on an AI, essentially an AI tool. Now the beauty of this is that this AI tool has been growing faster than what we planned. It's learning faster than what we teach it. So basically, we are planning to probably do something crazy the end of this year, is to try to give it to have the first self-driven company. That is completely based on, instead of from HR to operations to sales, and everything will be decided by a brain that is not human. That's something that we are going to subject ourselves to and our capital to try out this crazy idea. But it has been a wonderful experience. Putting this AI tool, we call it Pulse, to put it on our board of advisors, most valuable advisor. And probably, when we give it his own company to run, probably he's going to do, pretty well. So the only thing that I would still, if you look at from the AI perspective, the real AI and the narrow AI and all of those technical buzzwords, if you look at what we are doing, probably we lack proactiveness in the approach. So our AI mechanism doesn't go out and scout for companies or startups that we should be investing in, which is the case of, for example, a Stockholm-based venture capital firm that does that. They predicted, their algorithm was able to predict that Airbnb is going to be huge, while they were on angel or seed stage. So this is something interesting. We are not doing that. What we're doing today is whenever we receive something, whenever we implement a project today, we run it through our digital brain first, and again we try to remove the human error and try to base our decision on the most optimal, based on basically on all the data that we've been gathering for all these years. So from a venture capital side, those are my 2 cents on how we use AI, in investing in startups today.
No, that's amazing. In fact, I did a lot of work with McKinsey 2 years back, and one of the predictions we had was that one day 50% of the board of directors of corporations can be replaced by algorithms. Because if you really look at it, I ran 2 publicly listed companies in my career. And you really find that the kind of people you have on the board, some of them are very predictable in terms of their comments and their ideas. So those are some things where a fast learning AI algorithm can probably do better. But something for us to think about and maybe talk about. Let me move to Mr. Ali Kasab, who's CEO of Centurion and Company, and get his views. What do you think, sir?
We exchanged the places.
I'm going by my script.
No.
Natural intelligence.
Ali Kasab.
Right.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for hosting us today. As my previous speakers, I have been into venturing since the age of 25 years. Okay, I don't want to disclose my age as well, but it's a big experience. I started in Paris with my first venture in the software. I worked mainly in the banking environment and finance environment. The fintech, which we call it today a fintech industry. Then I have been always venturing startups in the region, in the Middle East region, and exiting them at a very high performance, bringing them from basically no revenue to multi-millions. Some of them went up to a couple of billions in dirham in UAE, in several industries, either digital telecom or payment solution for government. Some of them you use it every day today, like those payment machines that you can find everywhere today. They've been built by us, by our companies and our engineers. So after venturing into several startups myself, I have decided to build and create Centurion to manage my own private fund and venture into innovation, because I felt like now we need to industrialize what I have been doing on my own. I wanted something that can accelerate this entrepreneurial spirit. And we have been doing, supporting mainly blockchain and AI startups in the region from Asia to Europe over the past 2 years. We have done more than 15 blockchain AI projects. We invested ourselves in an AI platform managing and promoting influencer marketing in Singapore and India, named Viral. So it's still, the application is still now into the beta testing stage and will go public very soon. So when it comes to investment, I mean every investor, disregarding the scale of the investment he will be doing, it's very important for him to, I mean, everybody invest where he knows, okay, in the industry that he knows or where he feel more confident. So AI into investments will help investors to invest in where they don't know, basically, because they have, I mean, it allows us to capture sufficient information and data and analysis about the behavior of the investments or the market in order to give predictions to investors to maximize their investment, because at the end, investors are looking to maximize the return and the hurdle they want. Okay, now when it comes into investing into AI industry, of course, it's one of the most growing ones today. Why? Because everything, I mean, we cannot today manage and understand the data that is surrounding us, either on social media or in healthcare or in oil and gas, with a human behavior or human analysis, normal human analysis. So maybe the decision AI is already in the industry of oil and gas since long time, and there is a lot of decisions that are taken when it comes to sensors or it comes to the industry itself are taken by robots, but nobody knows it, but this cannot be taken today by human beings. So AI is already everywhere, and it's a growing industry, because today I don't like when we say, okay, it's going to replace humans or to replace operations. It's just going to uplift skills of human being. There is a lot of softwares and robotics that are today running into big corporates to replace like very basic tasks that back office people are doing in banking sector or in telecom industry or in government organization, that are repetitive tasks that doesn't require a specific intelligence from those people. So robotics, AI, machine learning is a growing industry, and it's done to support the growth that we are, let's say, obliging ourselves to go into it. This is how the market and how the world is moving. So yes, AI, from a point of view, from an investor point of view, it's one of the sectors that everybody should look at today in the fintech or in the technology industry. Now, in Centurion, we structure investment. Okay, we are early stage investment boutique. We do 10 to 12 transactions a year. We usually interfere into seed and early stage investment stage, but we also support companies to reach a higher investment scale by structuring them either into ICO or into security token offerings, independently from the industry that we are talking about. So it can be either in real estate or in healthcare. The technology of investment and the intelligence around the investment is based on that power of AI or blockchain, and it's now going to be everywhere. It's a market of more than $200 trillion if we look at the tokenization market in itself. And I think this is from an investment point of view. Now, when it comes to exiting or building the next generation of AI industry, I think there is, and you will confirm the same, there is not enough today solutions or tools that can allow, let's say, industries to analyze and maximize the analysis around all the data that is captured from the market, and there is still a gap to cover there. And there is, I think, this is where we need to keep investing, keep pushing innovation to reach maybe that stability in terms of return.
No, thank you. That was very useful. And I think you touched upon one point, that the real value of AI would be to assist human beings. And if you have time at the end of this panel, I would like to throw that question, saying across the spectrum of assistive AI, augmentating AI, and autonomous AI, what is most valuable for the future? But before we do that, I'm going to request Dr. Almada to talk to us, because he, as you heard, is Chief Planning and Development Officer and an advisor to His Excellency, the Minister of Hajj and Umrah. And what he told us in the half an hour we chatted before was, to me, the most fascinating opportunity and challenge for any technologist who's looking at solving real-world problems. Dr. Almada.
Thank you, Dr. Ganesh. So before we show the video, I think what we are trying to connect the dots what the guys have been discussing. We have a really nice session inside.
ما قلت لي كيف كان الحج السنة هذه.
Oh, 1 minute.
والله فاتك. سهرات شيء عجيب.
Let's pause the video and we continue after. Whichever. Okay, stop. Okay, I will continue then. So we have been having a discussion, actually, a session inside before the session, since we have this delay. The guys here were discussing about how to invest in AI, actually. But what we are discussing and what we're speaking about, since we are in the Ministry of Hajj and Umrah, we have one of the most unique environments in the world. We have like the grand prize challenge for the AI, actually, since we have almost 3 million people coming in 10 square kilometers from all around the world, from 80 different countries, speaking like hundreds of languages and dialects. So how can you deal in serving all of these people with all of their background and all of their culture and education-wise and financial background? So how to invest in the technology to serve all of these people? So we have discussion, we have meeting, we have contract with several companies, but when they come to the real world, it's quite complex, it's quite challenging. Not as you explain, as like, oh, I have this kind of AI technology, it will save the world, it will save in everything. For us, when we are discussing, usually not the best technology is what's best for you. So when we are discussing about investing in AI and taking AI to real-life application, for us, it has 3 factors that should be considered. First, the technology. The technology should be able to support what you need. Second, the research, the clients or the person you are going to serve with this technology. So if you don't do the behavior study for the clients you are serving with this technology, you might find a technology that doesn't suit them. We discussed actually real-life examples we faced in last year pilot phase for one of the projects. Third thing is the financial sustainability for this solution. If it is having the technology and the research required for solving this, it has to be sustainable for several years. It's not understandable to invest in AI and just after 2 years and expect I will replace it with a new technology. So to continue, let's just show you a small video we showed about how we are expecting AI to serve in the Hajj journey, which is the 5th pillar of Islam, and one of the religious ritual that every Muslim of the 1.6 billion Muslims is aspiring to do. So let's show our ministry vision of how we are going to do this.
الله سلطان.
ما قلت لي كيف كان الحج السنة هذه؟
والله فاتك. سهالات شيء عجيب.
ما شاء الله تبارك الله.
هذا كله بعد ما سجلنا في التطبيق. وصلني يا طول العمر صندوق فيه بطاقتي وسوار الحاج اللي بيكونون معي طول رحلتي. لا وبشرك بعد سماعة إذن تعطيني المعلومات اللي احتاجها وين ما كنت طوال الحج.
I didn't have to go through customs. Just a simple swipe with my card and I was in. There was even a screen greeting me by my name. There's even more.
मैं उसी कार्ड से हरमैन की हाईटेक ट्रेन में बैठा जिसने हमें चंद मिनटों में मक्का मुकरमा पहुंचा दिया और उसके बाद मैंने उसी कार्ड से अपने होटल के कमरे का दरवाज़ा भी खोला। इसके अलावा मुझे अपने बैग्स भी फ़ौरन से मिल गए और मुझे होटल में चेक इन करने की ज़रूरत भी नहीं पड़ी और ये तो सिर्फ शुरुआत थी।
Abang ako ay umiikot sa loob ng Kaaba. Ang paggamit ng earphone para sa dua tungkol sa pagtatawag at hindi lang yun.
ما كانت يفوتني والو وحتى منين كنت ساعي قال لي الصوار باني منين كنوصل للضوء الخضر كيخصني نجري وفي نفس الوقت كيخصني نقول الدعاء اللي خاصني نقوله اثناء السعي.
طبعا الست لازم تخضني عليها وضاعت في وسط الزحمه.
بس انا ما تعبتوش، البطاقه اللي كانت معايا خلته يعرف مكاني فين من الموبايل.
اللغة انترت سكربي أمر مساعدة برنرجع تعرس عندي شكي إن بي مشكلة بيني إن بي أما بورني تاني بور.
نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى القبول. لكن يا سلطان تراك طولت بالك تحج.
إن شاء الله بعد اللي سمعته السنة الجاية بإذن الله.
So this video kind of summarizes how AI can actually help human people. Like what we have been discussing actually inside the session, like AI should help humanity. AI should help people. AI should help people from all different categories. What we see right now in many startups, that AI is focused on more into the intellectual people, into the people who are more tech savvy. But what we need is the next generation of AI that applicable in the real world. So in this Hajj environment, with this kind of challenge, with this kind of people coming from all around the world, people that are still living in the jungle, people are coming still from small villages that maybe haven't seen cars or airplanes yet, this was their first trip. For us, we believe that this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It should be special. And it should be treated by us as so. So we are trying to bring AI to enhance their experience, to make AI the reason they will remember their journey. So for us, we need partners, we need companies, we need AI to be part of this solution, but it should be done, as I mentioned before, in a way that it is sustainable, with human behavior or consumer behavior having that in mind, and with a technology that is feasible nowadays. Like there are many situations, but that cannot support 30 million people in 10 kilometers square. So we have to consider all of these three aspects. That's what we are doing in the ministry, and that's what we are looking for, partners or people who are aspiring to do real-life challenge. This is, I think, if you can work in this kind of cluttered and challenging environment, you'll be able to work any place in the world. So if anyone interested, we are always more than welcome to have people with the willing to go to this challenge.
That was an amazing story, I think you can imagine, because I think this is one of the biggest opportunities and challenges. So when we all talk about real-time use cases, applications, etc., I think it's an absolutely fantastic area. I'm going to throw it open to the audience now. Anybody would like to make a comment or a question on what has been discussed so far? Anything that comes to your mind? Because we're talking about investing in AI, we're talking about real application of AI. You've spent 2 days listening. Any thoughts or any questions? Yes, madam. Can we get a mic to her, please? Do we have a mic?
السلام عليكم. يعطيكم العافية جميعا. Hi everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Hania Al-Anizi from Ministry of Finance, Saudi Arabia. طبعا we have a big transformation in the government level and digital transformation, and lead us to also to invest more and leverage more artificial intelligence use cases in the Ministry of Finance to help the ministry in budgeting, planning, and cost reductions and cost optimization, and in a better way to enhance the customer experience, client experience, plus to make the business wheels more easier. The big challenge that we faced in the artificial intelligence, the defined use cases, what the applicable use cases in budgeting, planning, and cost reductions. This is the main challenge. My questions, what's the main outlines to define the use cases, the proper use cases, and to start investigating with it? Thank you.
Anybody would like to? Please. Sure.
Yeah. If I heard, you are from Ministry of Finance of Saudi Arabia, right? Okay. So basically, usually in any transformation, the use case that we look at is mainly optimization. Either optimization of number of interactions that are happening from consumer or citizen side, or from the employee experience. So you have basically your two main focus should be on two audience, okay? Especially when it comes to finance, you'll have two audience. The third one will be the government-to-government experience. So how you can serve other government entities, because you interact with a lot of other government entities. Okay, so yeah, so basically, Ministry of Finance can be the hub of transformation in terms of any financial transaction that is utilized across all government sectors and can provide a lot of intelligence to government in order to optimize or to analyze better data or to maximize the interaction with citizens as well. So if you get my point, we have been working with the Ministry of Finance on the e-Dirham program in UAE, and it's a very successful project because mainly we were able to create the largest closed-loop payment solution for government, and this has been allowing them to basically reduce cost and improve customer experience when it comes for government fees payment. I mean, the cases are enormous. Like there's plenty of cases that can be listed there. And in your case, you are the hub. You are the heart of all the financial transactions, and you can provide a tremendous number of analysis and intelligence to the whole government in order to build and enhance customer experience across the whole other government sectors. So you can start basically with, I don't know, VAT payment, retail consumption, credit card payment analysis, cash payment analysis. I'm talking only from your point of view as Minister of Finance. Then it can go up to service fees for either economic departments or any other immigration, passport, etc. So those information, there are a lot of tools that can help you. Okay, I'm talking as a transactional point of view. Now, based on that, you can build a lot of tools that can help people to optimize payment cycle and be proactively at the service of the consumer or the citizens in order to empower him in the payment or the relationship with the other government entities when it comes to payment. Okay, so of course there are a lot of use cases, but this is, I mean, the high-level guidelines where you should look into it in order to build your artificial intelligence analysis, or how you can maximize the relationship between you as a Minister of Finance and other government sectors and collect all this data either from retail or from other government interactions, or and provide intelligence to other government sectors in order to empower them.
Thank you, Mr. Kasab. Any other thoughts from the other panelists? Any closing thoughts? Because I know we are out of time, but anything that you would suggest in terms of looking for use cases? What do you think are going to be the most valuable aspects of AI in the time to come?
What I would say is it is a lot dependent on the kind of data that we have, and I'm being the ministry, I'm sure you have all kinds of data. That's not the issue. So there is a customer segmentation, and with another use case would be based on the customer segmentation, how much of the schemes has to be rolled out on which part of the location, geotagging based on the expense versus income that's happening at a particular coordinate, or maybe to even figure out what are the risk management that you need to figure out in a certain kind of department in the government, so that the more money that is being put in needn't solve a particular issue. The right amount of money could solve it. So that finding, or maybe that particular use case, could be trivial to the system. I think we could go deep dive, but that will be longer.
Arif, any thoughts?
No, I don't have anything to add, especially after so much has been discussed. I don't know if you want to take the mic.
I think it's like more if you're looking for a use case, it's more about case sensitive when you are speaking about AI. Of course, if we are speaking about the finance sector, we might have several successful models, but in a different country to country, what might be successful for Hong Kong or Singapore might not be successful for Saudi Arabia, because the consumer is different, the behavior of the system is different. So I think AI is more sensitive. This is what we have been discussing actually prior to the session. It's like every case has to be studied from the aspect that is that can make it more sustainable and understand the current system. Many of the failure reason of startup in the AI field is just they don't consider different environment and different situation in their country and the country where they want to expand. So what might be successful in one place might not be successful in another. So even if there is a successful model, I might not think it will be 100% successful for the Minister of Finance. It has to be tweaked a bit at least. So a research, when applying AI, is a must. You never take an AI model and say it just has succeeded in Dubai, so it will succeed in Riyadh, for example. That's what I believe.
No, I think that's a great point to end this panel on, because I think at the end of the day, it's about real application. Use cases are based on a real consumer need. And as we were talking about even this morning, I think as technology keeps evolving, you see more and more blockchain, you see more and more quantum computing, you see AI really taking wings, and of course 5G. I think the real success stories would be, as I think you rightly said, solving the real problems of the world, and not just of the digital haves, but everybody, the entire multi-billion population that we have in the world. So thank you very much. It's been a wonderful panel, and I'm sure we could have gone on for 2 more hours, but all good things come to an end. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.